After a day of pomp and ceremony, this was all about business. A warm greeting on the steps of Downing Street before moving inside to discuss some serious issues over breakfast. For President Zuma, top of the list, the continuing sanctions against Zimbabwe. African leaders believe it's time to ease the pressure. The British Prime Minister says it's too soon.
We want to see the commissions that have been set up on human rights and on the media, on governance, move forward quickly so that people can see the future shape of Zimbabwe as a democratic, prosperous country where there is freedom of press and where there is respect for human rights.
But President Zuma warned there had to be movement or progress could be halted.
Zimbabweans have said, for an example, within the unity government, some ministers are able to travel all over the world. Others are not, are restricted. So there is no equality in that kind of situation. These are matters we have talked about, and that is why we have agreed to find ways and means to resolve the situation in Zimbabwe.
Both men tried to present a united front, but the divisions are clear. There was agreement, though, that the Football World Cup in South Africa later this year presents more than sporting opportunities.
And President Zuma and I have talked about a meeting that President Zuma would chair in South Africa during the time of the World Cup, where we would put on the agenda with sportsmen and women from around the world, with governments from around the world, with voluntary and non-governmental organisations around the world, how we can move forward with the impetus and momentum of the World Cup to leave one of the lasting legacies as the commitment to every child in Africa and the world having the chance of primary education for the first time.
The South African president came here hoping for agreement on Zimbabwe. He leaves with a deal on a number of issues, including climate change and the future of the G20. But on the most significant issue, he goes away with less than he hoped. President Zuma has been addressing British MPs and again returned to the subject of Zimbabwe.
We should also understand that the political and economic reality of Zimbabwe requires an inclusive solution.
This London trip has highlighted just how South Africa is growing in power and influence on the global stage, and has a president who knows it. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, London.